Welcome everyone, Namaste. Thank you for joining this session today. We are doing gentle yoga for 30 minutes. We are starting perhaps with a blanket if you want to have a little bit more padding for your knees. We are going to widen the knees towards the sides of your mat. If you're not using a mat, just widen them a little bit over or wider than the hips. And then from there, sitting onto your heels, take a moment. Take a nice inhalation through the nose, reach up with your shoulders, and exhale, let the shoulders drop back and down. Feel a little bit of that expansion through the chest. And then we're going to slowly start crawling with the hands, the fingertips towards the top of your mat. You're going to extend the arms. Don't go down all the way just yet. Use your finger pads to push the mat or the floor down and away from you. And that action will bring your sitting bones a little closer to your heels. It doesn't matter if they don't touch your heels. You could even be placing a pillow or a blanket in between the bottom and the heels, and that's all good. Okay, from there, what I'm going to try and do is to engage the lower abdomen, bringing it back towards the lumbar muscles. And then, yes, walk a little bit more with your hands, release the forehead, and take 2 breaths where you are tuning into nostril breathing. So watch the breath and the air move in through the nostrils. Try and keep that awareness into the movement that you feel happening in your body as you inhale and exhale. And then after the second breath, we'll press with the hands so we can lift ourselves off a little. And we are going to thread the left arm over to the right, letting the shoulder come down if that's possible for you, and bringing the head down. If you need more padding to make this happen, you're more than welcome to add padding under the left shoulder, maybe underneath your forehead. And then if you want, you reach a little further with that right hand towards the top of the mat. Soften the face and take a nice inhalation here again. Long exhale, steady, creating cadence through the breath. Then we press, we return, we send that left arm towards the top of the mat, and we thread the right arm over to the left, switching sides. Same idea as before. You can walk or crawl the left hand, left arm a little further. And then as you soften the face, give yourself a moment here to tune into your breath. Then slowly coming back, we walk the hands towards the body or the heel, the knees, and then bring the knees a little closer, sit on your heels. If this feels like it's a little too much for your body, your knees, then you can use blocks or anything in between your legs or your sitting bones. You can put something there so you're more elevated and there's less pressure on the knees, okay? So from here, we're going to do a few movements that are very helpful to open up the shoulders and the upper back. I'm going to turn so you can see me a little better. But what we're going to do first is to bring the right arm in front and make a fist, and the left arm also making a fist. I'm going to send it back, okay? We are going to inhale and send the right arm up overhead. The left arm is going a little further back. And with the exhale, bend both elbows, bringing the fist towards one another. I'm not going to touch my hands. I'm trying not to touch my back at all. This is very good for mobility in the joints, okay? So we are just doing the movement. Then I'm inhaling, sending both arms away from one another again. And with the exhale, I'm returning to the base. Then we're going to switch arms, right? So now I'm going to inhale, left arm up, right arm back. Exhale, bending elbows, fists coming towards one another. Inhale, arms up, away from one another, up and down. And then exhale, bring them down. Okay, let's go again. Right side now. Inhaling. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale to base. Try to keep the head above your spine and the front ribs in. Inhale. exhale, inhale, exhale. Again, inhale, bring it in, lengthen the breath and slow down the movement. Last one, left side. Can you go with your breath? Good, then release, shake it a little. And from here, we'll add a different movement. We are going to bring the arms into a cactus shape. Elbows and shoulders are more or less in the same height. We're going to inhale, and now we let the spine arch, lifting the chin a little. And with the exhale, we round the spine and we bring the elbows towards one another. My chin is down. Again, inhaling, exhaling. Inhale, feel the opening in the front. Exhale, the opening in the back. One more time. We inhale, we lengthen, and we make space in between the ribs. We exhale, and we bring the navel down into the spine. Good. Now coming back to the neutral, I'm going to change again. I'm going to bring the right elbow on top of the left one and then thread the hands together. If this is not possible, you can always put your hands on your shoulders or just keep the arms a little bit close to one another without touching the hands, okay? Now I'm going to go sideways again so you can see. We're going to do similar movement as we just did before. With the inhalation, we reach up and we stretch the front. With the exhale, we bring the navel back and we round. Two more of those. Inhaling, exhaling. Last one. Good. And coming back to neutral and reopening the arms. And then we're going to switch. Left elbow on top of the right one. We make the palms touch. And again, for 3, we'll do the same thing. Try and lengthen your breath. Inhaling. Release. 2 more. Go with your own pace. We are returning to the neutral, reopening the arms, release there and shake it a little again. Now we are going to come into a tabletop, and I'm sure that if you were sitting like me or somehow like I was sitting, then the legs feel a little bit asleep or they need a little bit of movement. So tap there with the feet, the shins, you can wiggle a little bit. And keeping the shoulders above your wrists, we are going to do a few pelvic circles. So we are sending the bottom towards the heels, to one side, towards the front, and back, okay? So we're going to do 3 circles going the same way that you started, doesn't matter which one. This is also helpful for all the joints, the wrists, the shoulders, the hips, and the knees. And when you get to that 3rd one, you reverse it. 3 going over, second side. You can always add a little bit more of zigzagging or extra movement if you need with the trunk, with the shoulders. This is an opportunity to decontract and open up space, okay? So I'm doing my 3rd to my second side. And then as I come back to the tabletop, I'm adding more zigzagging. So I'm going to look over my right shoulder, and then looking over the left shoulder, I'm opening up the sides, okay? I'm doing 1 more of those, side to side. Good. And then we are going to add from here a little more. We are going to do, again, 3 times with the right hand. We are going to inhale, open up the thoracic spine. Exhale, thread towards the left. I'm not going too far because I'm going to come back. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhale, exhaling. Now this is the last one. Now I'm going to come down. My hips are above my knees. And keeping this with the left hand next to the face, we're going to push so we can turn the chest a little more. Optional here to keep pressing with your right arm, right shoulder down, and send the left arm up. Take a nice breath in. Exhale, release. Press with the left hand and come back to the tabletop. And now we're going to reverse the whole thing, right? So 3 times we go first with the left. Inhaling. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Now, yes, I'm going to lean a little more, left shoulder down, left side of your head down, and you can bring your right hand a little closer to the head so you can turn the chest a little more. You can stay here, it's perfectly fine. I'm just adding a little bit more opening in that right shoulder by sending the right arm. If this does not feel good in your neck or your shoulders, then just keep the right hand up. Inhale here. Exhale. Bringing that right hand, we return to that tabletop and we'll add a little bit more from here. We send the right leg back, tucking the toes under. We are going to push through the heel and just rock a little bit forward and back, forward and back. Good. We are toning those leg muscles in the right side just a couple of times. Good, then we're going to add a little more, press firmly through the left shin, lift the right leg a little higher, draw the navel up and lengthen through the crown of the head. Try and keep steadiness through the breath, more important than the shapes, because if you develop more steadiness in the breath, then the shapes will be more stable as well. We send the left arm forward now, adding little pieces. For one more breath. And then we release the left hand and we release the right knee down and we wiggle a little bit side to side. Good, now we have the second side, left leg, we press with the base of the toes, back, and we come forward. So we do 3 or 4 of those. And then when we return to the center, we lift the navel, we lengthen through the crown of the head, we extend the left leg. Good. I don't know if you can see, but I'm not lifting my leg super high. I want to keep it in the line of my spine. So I'm really developing strength through the leg, lifting the core and lengthening through the crown of the head. Then we add the right arm, 2 breaths. Putting the right hand down, left knee down, and wiggle a little. Beautiful. From here, I'm going to cross right knee behind the left one, open the shins, and see if you can push yourself back towards a seat. If you can get there that way, then you're already sitting. If you need some padding underneath the sitting bones, just add it with a blanket or anything else so you don't feel like you're falling sideways. We are going to start by sending the right arm over to the left. So it's coming above or passing, right, the left leg. And then the left arm is going to come behind. It's a gentle twist. We inhale, we get tall. With the exhale, we turn to the left. Soften the shoulders, soften the face. And stay with the awareness close to your breath. That will help you also stay present because the brain tends to go to memories, ideas, judging things, things to do. So if you stay close to your breath, it makes it easier to stay in the now. Then we'll reverse it. We're going to bring both arms over to the right. And just if you can touch with the fingertips, you touch down or you just press into the leg, you lift again through the spine and you rotate belly, chest to the right, softening the shoulders, keep the chin of the chest, 1 full breath. Good, we are coming back to center. And then we are going to add a little bit more here as we sit tall. We are going to inhale, send the arms up overhead. With the exhale, we reach over and we come forward any amount. It can be that you stay very close and more upright. It can be that you are walking or crawling a little further and releasing here. 2 breaths. We are working here with hip stretching, opening the lateral muscles. Also opening the lower back. Once you're done with those two breaths, you're going to need a little bit of core, and you're going to then hop a little bit to return to that tabletop. Once you're there, just reopen the legs. Take your time. I know that it may take a little time to get there, and then cross the left knee behind the right one. I'm opening the shins again, and slowly I'm switching sides, right? By coming back into my sitting bones. And now the right leg is the one that is on top, and we'll repeat the sequence, okay? Find the seat that feels steady for you. We are bringing the left arm over to the right, right arm behind, lift through the spine, rotate to the right, feel the sitting bones steady, and then take a full breath. Then we return and we counter twist. So now we bring both arms to the left, torso to the left, reaching up through the crown of the head. That also lengthens the back of the neck, but we try to soften the shoulder blades down. When we are back to center, we take that last portion, inhaling, arms up overhead. And remember, you go any amount as you lengthen the spine, folding over. And the more you fold, the more you will feel it in the sides of your hips, right? So you may want to come a little further back and then less intensity there. As I move into the fold, I usually try to engage my core, so that navel moving back brings a little bit more release in the lower back muscles. And then from there again, a little bit of oomph to lift yourself into the tabletop. Switch again the legs so they are again in the neutral position. We are now from here going to look at the hands and place them so we can move up into a downward facing dog. So turning perhaps the finger pads a little bit out towards the sides of your mat if you have a mat, or just making space there, making sure that the heels of your hands are pressing. Move your knees a few inches back, tuck your toes, and start your way up into a downward facing dog. Once you get there, push the floor, lengthen the spine, give yourself a moment to feel that nice sensation of opening the chest, pedal one leg, go deep into the flexion, one side and then the other, maybe shifting the hips to one side and the other side a few times. Downward facing dog has so many benefits. We are toning a lot through the arms, making sure that we are pressing into the pinky sides of the hands to engage the outer muscles in your arms, and also keep an upper back that it's broad. Once you get into that shape and you feel it, bring the front ribs in like if you're bracing them into your heart, okay? And then drop the head, drop the neck. Take a nice breath in. Exhale as you tone your thighs, sending the inner upper thighs back. Then look forward and slowly start walking your way towards the top of the mat. Feet are parallel, bend the knees so they are soft. Keep engaging your abdomen and hold opposite elbows, releasing the head. Let's take a nice breath in. Connect to the breath. Sometimes we get lost. Come back. Then release your hands, and if they are not touching down onto the floor, then you bring a block and you put it there for support. I'm going to move a little just so you can see me more centered. But now what we're going to do is to make sure that the feet are a little wider than the hips, and we are going to bring the left hand right under the line of the nose. So again, if you cannot put the hand down, you put a block or anything that you have at home that you can be elevated, okay? Then the left knee, we are going to bend it, but the right leg, we are going to keep it straight. So straight doesn't mean that I'm locking my knee, but yes, I'm engaging my muscles, right? So I'm pressing through the heel, the base of my toes, engaging that right leg, the left knee is bent. And now 3 times we are going to inhale, open the chest. Exhale, bring it down. Inhale. Exhale. Last one, inhale. Exhale. Good. Once you came back down, press into the left heel to straighten the left leg and bend your right knee. So now we are switching. Right hand is under the line of the nose, again with the support or without if you don't need it. And from there, keeping both legs the way they are toning, we are going for 3. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Last one. Good. Then again, we bend both knees gently. We put the hands onto the hips, press through the heels, lengthen the spine, slowly make your way up. We were folding over the legs for a little bit, so you need a little bit of time to come back up and don't feel like you're dizzy, okay? Shake it a little. Good. Going to remove my support. And then from there, we're going to move from the top of the mat and add a little more. Let's inhale, send the arms up overhead. With the exhale, we take a forward fold. Inhaling, we lengthen the spine halfway, inner thighs back. And with the exhale, I'm going to touch down and I'm going to send the left leg back into a lunging position. In this lunging position, to create a little bit more of a stretch and flexibility, we're going to try and push through the back heel a lot and let the front thigh and the front knee come forward a lot. So it's like you're really like diving deep, okay? So push through that heel. And now we're going to add a little bit of a mini sequence. I'm going to inhale, send the left knee down. Exhale, bring it back up. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Exhale, come back to that lunge. And we inhale again, bringing the knee down, and we start it again. Re-extend. We lengthen and we straighten both legs. We come back to the lunge and we bring the knee down. Okay, let's go again. Lift that knee. Then we straighten both legs. We return to the lunge. We bring the knee down. Last one, we lift, we straighten, we come back and release. Beautiful. From here with the left knee down, keep the left hand down. Inhale, reach up into a twist. And to finish this, we're going to relift the left knee. Keep the chest facing to the right, but bring the right arm over the head and stretch towards the top of the mat. Then we put the right hand down and we go back to a down dog. Breathe in, breathe out, bend the knees, hollow your belly, looking forward. Make your way back to the top of the mat. Exhaling, we release. Press through the feet, inhale, come all the way up. And find the original position standing. We release the arms. Good, let's do the second side. Inhaling, arms up. Exhaling, we take a forward fold. Inhaling for that heart opener. And with the exhale, we send the right leg back this time. Good. And from here, we are going to do a little bit of that stretch that we did in the beginning. So my right heel is pressing back, stretching that leg, and the left thigh is coming forward and down. Take a nice breath in, nice breath out. And then we add the little sequence we did before. So right knee comes down, then we lift and we straighten. We come back to that lunge and we repeat, knee down. Then we lift, we straighten. We come back to the lunge and we release the knee. Okay, let's go again. Lift, straighten the legs. Back to that lunge where we are pushing that back heel behind us, knee down. Last one, lifting, straighten, return, and knee down. And once that we have the right knee down, the right hand stays also down, and we turn the torso and the belly up to the left. Take a nice breath in, nice breath out. Then again, we relift that right knee, push through the heel, and let that left hip tuck down, right? So I'm bringing that left hip down and I'm letting the thigh move forward. And then I'm going to send that left arm overhead. One full breath. And then you take it back to down dog. Nice breath in and out. And then we bring it down into a child's pose. Big toes touching, knees wide, release the forehead. Take a moment here. 3 breaths. Give yourself the opportunity to soften the face, relax there for a moment. After the third one, we press ourselves up and we are going to change this position into a new one. So we are going to sit with the legs wide. We have still a few minutes. We sit wide and we're going to add a side stretch that it's really good for the body. So sitting with the legs wide, you try to make sure that you're not rounding in your lower back. So for that, you may need more padding or more elevation underneath your sitting bones. And you don't need to open your legs super wide, right? To a place where you can hold yourself. Left arm goes in front of the left arm in front of the left leg. And then from there, we're going to turn the chest towards the right, bringing the right arm overhead. Now for these, you can always turn the head and look down if you feel like the neck feels uncomfortable looking up, okay? So any of those work. Bring the navel back and stretch that right side over the left. Then you press, coming back up. Good, and we take the right arm inside the right leg. Any amount that you can, you lengthen the torso over that right leg. Inhale the left arm over the head. Slowly returning, use your hands to bring the legs towards one another. And for a moment here, we are going to put the left shin in front of us and try and place the right one on top. This is not an easy task because it requires a lot of hip opening, so you can cross your legs in a regular cross-legged position instead of having one shin on top of the other. This is also called ankle to knee pose. So the idea is that we are pairing one ankle with the opposite knee and vice versa, right? If you can do this, you sit tall for a moment. Breathing here. And then what I'm going to do is a little bit of a trick, trying to not use my hands. That will require my hips to work more. I'm going to try and switch it. So now I'm going to put the right shin down, the left one on top, and sit back again. And again, I'm touching down once I did it, and I'm sitting tall for one breath. And we're going to play and see if we can do it one more time each side. So sit back. Switch one leg over, sit back, switch the leg over and sit again. Then release. Good job. Take a nice breath in. Nice breath out. Release that. Wiggle the legs. Come onto your back. We are almost done. Hold those knees in. Rock a little bit side to side. Do a little bit of massaging. We did a lot of twisting, so I'm not going to make you add more twists, but yes, we can rest a little bit by bringing the soles of the feet together, the knees wide, hands onto your belly, relax your upper back, soften the face. And let's take just a breath or two before we officially close these 30 minutes. Of course, if you have extra time to stay there a little longer, you do so. If not, very gently bring the legs into one another. You can extend one arm so you can roll over to the side, pressing yourself back up into a seat. I'm officially closing this session. If you have, like I said, extra time, rest a little longer and then you move into the rest of your day. Thank you guys so much for joining. I hope to see you next week. Have a wonderful long weekend. Namaste.